Hey everybody, it's Lon Seidman back with another Dad Pro Tip review. This time we're taking a look at the Tiggly shapes for the iPad. They just sent this to me this week. I think this just came out very recently. What these are a bunch of physical shapes that interact with your iPad. So your kids can get some screen time, but also still use some traditional toys to learn their shapes and motor skills and some other things. So let's take a closer look though and see what these things are made of. They are plastic shapes with a rubberized coating around them. And what I have noticed, and you can see on the green one here, is that they do pick up a little bit of dirt pretty easily. I bet you could probably just clean them off with some soap and water. So it feels a little sticky. It also picks up some fibers from the included pouch that they give you, but I do like the fact that they give you a pouch because Fisher-Price is a similar product and there is no way to store the toys when you're not using them. On the bottom are these little capacitive feet, and what these do is they basically allow the iPad screen to think that there's fingers touching it, and I think the distance between these things is measured in the apps that they have written for these devices to allow you to interact with them and for it to detect the shape that you're using. You get a couple of 4 different shapes. You have a green circle, a blue star, a red square, and a yellow triangle. And there are 3 different apps that are available in the App Store that accompany this. So the first one we'll take a look at is the Tiggly stamp. And when you load it up, you get a little Tiggly thing here. Now I've already gone through the process of registering, or not registering, but certifying that I have a proper Tiggly shape thing. So when you first start, you have to just kind of put all these shapes on real quick just to let them know that you are a valid Tiggly owner. There is a parents section here, so you can just swipe up with 2 fingers and you get a whole bunch of information about how to properly play with your kids with this thing. So there's a lot of instructions and some different things so you can guide your children through it. But if we can hit play here, you pick a scene and then you just push shapes down on the screen here and it'll make a picture. So here's a reindeer, and you don't really know what you're going to get until you put the shapes down here, but you can kind of build a little picture and they'll drop little shapes. You can then move them around and stuff, so there's some interaction with that. And then when you're done, you can even take a picture of it and put it up on your Facebook wall or do whatever else you want to do with it. So kind of a neat little thing there. So that is the first app in the bunch there. The second one is Tiggly Safari. And we'll let that load up for a second. The apps load up pretty quick, so there's no real issues there. And we'll just hit the play button on this one. And this one's a little bit different because they want you to use specific shapes to find the animals. So here, of course, they want us to use the circle, so we'll put the circle down here. And then you're rewarded with a little turkey or something so you can see exactly what you did something right there, which is kind of cool. The last one is Tiggly Draw, which is more of an open-ended app that allows you to drop the shapes and create some different drawings in kind of a free-flowing environment there. So we can just do that, and then you have these little things you can put on them also, so we can make a little square with a face, I guess, if we wanted to do that. So kind of a Mr. Potato Head kind of thing. So kind of a neat little app there as well. So there's a lot of little activities that you can do with the kids there, and it works pretty good. Now, granted, I'm almost 37, so there's limited entertainment value for me, but I think when my daughter's old enough, she might have a lot of fun with this. And the nice thing is that they're learning their shapes and doing some different things with them in a way that we're not just interacting with screens all the time. We're actually using some shapes and doing some of the traditional play that we've had with actual physical toys, which is kind of a nice thing. So from that standpoint, the app works very well. Now, the only problem I had was with the red square. It wasn't really reading consistently on my iPad with Retina display. It did work okay on my original iPad until I put it in this kid-proof case, and it stopped. It didn't stop working, but it wasn't always reading it every time I placed it down on the screen. What I think is happening is that it's just a software calibration issue on Tiggly's side. There's 4 capacitive feet here that the app is looking for, and I think they just have to tweak it a little bit to be able to pick it up. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Like I said, they do get a little bit dirty, a little bit dirtier faster than I would like, but I think a little water and soap will go a long way to rectifying that problem. The apps are really nice. I mean, they're very focused on each activity. So there's a good parent guide to really guide your child into using it properly. And again, I reviewed the Fisher-Price product that you also use the shapes. And what I found with the Fisher-Price product was that it was a little bit too distracting in that you hit the shape and get the right thing, and there was a whole big cartoon that would play, and then it would take a while before you could get back to using your shapes again. These apps, thankfully, are a lot faster in that it's really encouraging the child to keep experimenting as opposed to just waiting for something to happen. So I like that about what they've put together here, and they've really put a lot of thought into what they're doing. So I think this is definitely something to check out, especially if you want your child to be exposed to these iPads and stuff, but also want a little bit more of a tactile experience for them. So give it a look. This is the Tiggly shapes from Tiggly, and thanks for watching. This is Lon Seidman.